From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. U.S. President Donald Trump is again musing about tariffs and Canada becoming the 51st American state. This time it was while addressing the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, by video link from the White House.
We're going to be demanding respect from other nations. Canada, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. We're not going to have that anymore. We can't do it. I don't know if it's good for them. As you probably know, I say you can always become a state. And if you're a state, we won't have a deficit, we won't have to tariff you, et cetera, et cetera.
Trump suggested he could impose a 25% tariff on Canadian goods starting February 1st. Quebec's maple syrup producers fear their sales will drop if Trump goes ahead with tariffs. The group's exports to the United States last year accounted for 55% of Quebec's total production. Former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says she is abandoning the capital gains tax change she once championed because of U.S. President Donald Trump. Freeland says Canada needs to change its policies in case Trump relaxes capital gains laws in the U.S. Freeland is running for federal Liberal leader. Nova Scotia MP Jamie Batiste says he submitted the paperwork and deposit to join the federal Liberal leadership race. The Indigenous politician from Cape Breton says he knows he's an underdog but relishes the challenge.
I believe in the National Food Program. I believe in affordable childcare. I believe in dental care. I believe in pharmacare because I believe Canadians truly care.
Batiste joins former Liberal House Leader Karina Gould, Frank Baylis, Ruby Dalla, and Michael Clark submitting their documents today. Quebec Premier François Legault says the province will defend its values amid a challenge of its secularism law. The Supreme Court of Canada has agreed to hear an appeal against Quebec's law that bans religious symbols in the province's public service. Federal Justice Minister Arif Virani, meanwhile, says Ottawa will defend the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Health Canada is set to receive more doses of rabies vaccine as Ontario continues to see a shortage. An increase in demand for the vaccine came after the death of an Ontario child who'd come into contact with a bat last fall. Tesla says it is raising prices by up to $9,000 starting February 1st on its Model 3 vehicle, the cheapest in its lineup.
The company says on its website it will also be raising prices on the Model Y, X, and S by $4,000 at the same time. It didn't say why, but the date happens to coincide with when U.S. President Trump said he could impose widespread tariffs on Canada. The price hikes also come after Tesla already hiked the price of its vehicles by $1,000 earlier this month, pushing the Model 3 and Model Y out of eligibility for federal electric vehicle incentives, a program that is now being paused by the government. Michelle Zedekian, The Canadian Press.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, the Edmonton Oilers host the Vancouver Canucks tonight as the two teams renew a rivalry that's seen its share of bad blood. Both Edmonton superstar Connor McDavid and Vancouver defenseman Tyler Myers will miss the game because of suspension. Three teams vying for an Eastern Conference playoff spot are in action tonight. The Montreal Canadiens visit Detroit. The Ottawa Senators visit Boston. Ottawa, Montreal, and Boston go into tonight's action tied for the second wild card at 52 points. Also tonight in the NHL, the Calgary Flames host the Buffalo Sabres. The Toronto Raptors face the Hawks tonight in the first of two consecutive games in Atlanta. The Raps have been a much improved team at home with 3 straight wins, but on the road, they have an NBA worst 1-19 record. And the Professional Women's Hockey League's Montreal Victoire will host the Boston Fleet at the Bell Center March 1st. That venue hosted a record PWHL crowd last year of more than 21,000 fans. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.